At the turn of the 20th century, modern industry was changing the shape of America. Americans were flocking to cities like New York, Chicago, and Detroit looking for jobs. Immigrants were sailing to America looking for opportunity. Cities were growing exponentially. The population of New York City doubled from 1.7 million in 1890 to 3.5 million in 1900. By 1920, the population reached 5.7 million people. With the demand for business, workers, and housing, skyscrapers began to emerge. Advancements in iron and steel created sturdy yet lightweight building materials. New elevator technology made it easier for people to be moved to higher levels. The first ever skyscraper was built in Chicago in 1885. Today, the tallest skyscraper is in Dubai, UAE, standing 2,700 feet tall. To introduce my classes to our new unit, I chose a cross-curricular, hands-on STEM activity. I challenged my students to build skyscrapers. I made sure to reserve our school's media center to have adequate space and flat tabletops for the activity. With the assistance of our science teacher, I gathered building materials, including paper towel rolls, soda cans, paper plates, craft sticks, pipe cleaners, stick pens, and plastic cups. Building materials were distributed to different tables somewhat evenly, but not exactly. Each table also received a roll of masking tape as their only adhesive. One stipulation: they were not allowed to actually use the tape roll itself in their construction. My students were given few guidelines. I wanted them to be their most creative. Initially, the 3 guidelines were: it must be freestanding, it must be sturdy, and they had 20 minutes to build. After observing my first class at work, I realized I also needed to add that the skyscraper may not be taped to the surface or ceiling. Lastly, the goal was to build the tallest skyscraper. I brought along a tape measure to measure the height of each structure. Once the parameters were explained, students split up into groups of their own choosing. A timer was set, and building began. The competition was pretty close, and the students came up with thoughtful solutions, from using pens to reinforce the paper towel beams, to taping cans together to make a solid base. The tallest freestanding skyscraper ended up being over 5 feet tall. The students were very proud of their skyscrapers and appreciative of the chance to build while learning about history. A special shout out to my period 7 and 9 classes for letting me take photographs and video for my class project. I hope you enjoyed watching. This is Mrs. Winter Davis from Steelton High Spire High School.